Well, look here, Johnny Walker had a sex change. Okay, all joking aside, it's looks like a marketing thing by Johnny Walker and Diageo saying that it's not just a man's drink. It's cool for women to drink whiskey too, and I don't think whiskey should have um, any gender boundaries. Why should it? I mean, people like or don't like whiskey. That's just how it is. So anyway, this Jane Walker, I don't know if it's been specifically marketed to women. I think it's marketed to all people. And it says an original blend aged 10 years. So it's 10 years old. There's an age statement on it. From Master Blender Emma Walker. Oh, and it even has her signature on here. Why doesn't it say Emma Walker instead of Jane Walker? I don't know. I'm going to read what's on the bottle and on the box and all that after I pour a gram of this 10-year-old blend. And here we are. A typical Johnny Walker looking bottle, but it says Jane on it. And yeah, it has the metal twist cap. There we go, which is on pretty tight. Got that off of there. We'll appropriately pour it into a Canadian club glass. And there we go. I'm going to take it easy this week and only do 3 whiskeys. Last week, or yesterday for people who are watching as often as possible, yesterday I had gone a little overboard. I did my 6th and 7th dram of the night. In the last review, I must admit, or should I say the last whiskey video, was kind of short on content and a lot of hemming and hawing, and my apologies. I hope that didn't put you out too much. I may go back and take another look at the 10-year-old what's that bottle? Port Charlotte 10, and see what it's like after 2 or 3 months. But right now, we'll go for the Jane Walker, which says, Jane Walker by Johnny Walker is a blended malt that celebrates whiskeys inspired by pioneering women and the progress they've achieved. Oh, okay. Story of the whiskey begins with Elizabeth Cumming, who owned and operated Cardew Distillery, and under whose leadership the distillery flourished. She ultimately sold the distillery to the Walker family in 1893, and ever since, single malt from Cardew has been at the heart of many beloved blends from Johnny Walker, and so it is with Jane Walker. This story continues today, led by master blender Emma Walker, who built this rich and flavorful whiskey, note by note. Jane Walker is a true celebration of the depth of flavor found within the whiskeys of Johnny Walker. Whiskey is well-rounded and smooth, featuring notes of, tasting notes. I'll tell you what I get. It might not be as much as what's on the label. Right away, I'm getting things like stone fruits, cherries, apricots, peaches, orchard fruit like pear, very fruity. A lot of apple in there. I'm sure that some of this blend has been aged in sherry. I'm getting that fruit cup kind of thing. Yeah, very fruity. Not getting any smoke at all. No peat, no smoke. Just very fruity. Along with the fruit of, if I dig deep enough, I'm getting a grainy note, but it is very well covered over by the fruitiness. So there's probably a fair bit of sherry cask and wine cask malt whiskey in this. Of course, it doesn't say what the percentage is of what. By appointment, to Her Majesty the Queen. From Master Blender, okay, 750 mils, 41.9%. Hey, I applaud Johnny Walker for making this stronger. 41% alcohol, 41.9% alcohol by volume. This is only the second Johnny Walker whiskey that I know of that is more than 40%. The other one, of course, is the green label. Oh, what's it say on the back here? Delicious blend, Johnny Walker. Government warning. Imported by Diageo, Norwalk, Connecticut. Okay, so this one came through the States to get here to Canada. Interesting. It's nice and fruity. There's that maraschino cherry note. Stone fruits like apricots and peaches. Some pear. A little bit of apple. It's dominated by fruit. Fruity notes. Not a lot of spicy notes going on. No smoke or peat that I can detect. Just a lot of fruity. Very nice blend. At least on the nose. On the nose, it's beautiful. Now I'm going to have a sip of water first before I try it on the palate. Like I said, every new bottle is an adventure. And this is no exception. Before I taste it, however, I should tell you how much it set me back. Johnny Walker, Jane Walker, $59.99. So that would be $6 liquor tax plus $3 goods and services tax plus 10 cents bottle deposit plus 59.99 is equal to $69.09 out the door. That's what it cost to get this. Of course, I bought it with something else, but that's what it was. That's what the bill was, $69.09. So it's in the price range of low price single malts. You can get single malts for around the same price around here. We're talking cheap ones. This is probably a little more expensive than McClellan's, and maybe the Founders Reserve, Glenlivet, and maybe Glenfiddich. What's the bottom rung entry level Glenfiddich? I don't think it's at 12. Was there another one below that? You can get Glengarry, which is bottled at 48% for maybe a few pennies more. But this is a very fruity, almost space side, but it's rich. I think that extra 1.9 alcohol alcohol by volume is making a big impact here in making the nose much more rich and flavorful. So see what we get in the way of legs. I'm not expecting that much, but so far on the nose, I like it. Legs. Yeah. They're coming down moderately. They're fairly thick. Nice. Maybe a bit viscous and oily too. Quite interesting on the palate too. Whoa. It's like a burst of flavor. I was not expecting this. I was expecting this to be a lot weaker in the flavor department. I'm kind of glad I had a gin and tonic before starting this. Because here I was thinking, oh, it's 40%, without even reading the label. And I've had this thing in my possession since. May, 8th of May? Yeah, 8th of May. June, July, August, September, October. 5 months ago. Because now it is the 9th of October. And move it around a little bit. Now I'm getting a bit of a grainy note now that I've tasted it underneath the fruits. Once again, quite rich and fruity. A lot of fruit flavors, a bit of maltiness. It ends in a bit of a bitterness. Not overpoweringly bitter, but there is a bitterness in the finish. Now the question is, where does that bitterness come from? Is it oak tannins? It is 10 years old after all. Is it oak tannins that have come from perhaps European oak? The Quercus robur, perhaps? Because some of the whiskeys that went into this may have been aged in European oak. It's not overpowering and it's not unpleasant, but there is a bit of bitterness. And the bitterness lingers for a while. It's still there on my tongue. It is coating the sides of my mouth, and the finish comes up dry. Okay, not bad. Medium finish approximately. Once again, I'm getting those stone fruits, the peaches, the cherries, the maraschino cherries that you get in a Del Monte fruit cup. If you like fruity flavors in your whiskey, if you are not a fan of peat smoke, and you don't care so much for citrus flavors that will come along with a peaty, smoky, the likes of Lafroig. If you're not into that, you'd like this. If you like it fruity, a little bit malty, it's a superb blend. Superb. It's great. And it's thick enough to remind you that it is alcohol. It's thick enough to remind you there's a lot of flavor and it is viscous. It's not slippery. It's a little bit on the acidic side, maybe from all of those fruity influences. But it's substantial. This is almost not a starter whiskey. Nice and fruity. Lots of fruits here. Did I mention fruit? This is a very nice blend, and that's on the neck pour. This might get even better as it goes along. Slanchova.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.